Hello guys and welcome back to a brand new episode in our Arizona Adventure Park. In this episode we are going to build a brand new habitat for, I think it will be the last of our big cats. We are going to build a habitat for our cheetahs. But first of all we're going to see how our lions take a poo. And have some food to produce even more poo in the future. Well, okay, so let's have a look what had happened in the meantime. In the meantime, I put down some vending machines here, some decoration, some plants and rocks, and also a little toilet facility for our guests in here, and filled in the gaps with some more fences, plants and rocks, and also put down the new education boards for our jaguar and also for our lions. Yeah. First of all, you might have missed me the last, I think it was 2 weeks without a new video from me. Yeah, I'm back again now, and yeah, you might wonder why it has taken me that long to be back. Yeah, it is because unfortunately my husband has caught COVID. So he had to isolate himself from me and my mom, as we are living together here in this house. And unfortunately, he had to isolate in the only room where we had another bed in there, and that is our office at home. And as you might think, yeah, the office is also the place where our computers are, and where I do record the stuff for Planet Zoo. So I was not able to record some new stuff, even if I already had finished the habitat for the cheetahs that we are building right here, and also had finished the habitat for the dingoes in the Swamp Lake Zoo. But yeah, it just was not possible for me to do anything. Yeah, luckily I managed to not get infected for this 2 weeks. So I was very lucky to be still healthy and never caught COVID in this pandemic right now, which makes me very, very happy. Yeah, so yeah, I'm curious, how did you guys get through the pandemic until today? Did you catch COVID, or did you have any experiences with it? So just let me know, I'm just curious about that. Yeah, so but now back to what we are going to build here. The cheetah habitat was a little bit difficult for me because I didn't have that much inspiration. So I started building a habitat for the cheetahs and I was not happy with it. I deleted the whole thing and started to build a new. And then I thought about this idea to do this kind of sunken habitat here, where the visitors could go down the hill inside a small house. Yeah, not just a house for the cheetahs, but a viewing house, I would call it, I think, because there's no indoor section for the cheetahs. Yeah, so the viewers could go down and view the cheetahs from the house or from the outside of the house, and they also have the possibility to go and walk on the top of this house, so they have something like a terrace where they can watch the cheetahs from the upper level as well. Yeah, that was the whole idea behind this. What I'm going to build here now is yeah, the facade of the house, and yeah, I'm also using the rotation mode again to build this house, and yeah, that's what you are going to see me do right here. Yeah, once again, it was a little bit tricky. I was once again using the non-grid items to build the whole thing. And I also did something a little bit different here because I wanted to have different walls on the front and on the back side of the building, because on the back side of the building it didn't make any sense to have glass windows, because our visitors yeah, there would be nothing they would look at on the backside of the building. So I filled in the spot where I had the windows with some other concrete pieces. And I also had the problem again that the pieces didn't quite match with the rotation, and I don't wanted them to overlap, so I just used these round plaster pillars to fill in the gaps, which gives the whole building yeah, a different and a nice look. I also had to sink it down a little bit in the ground because the windows were a little bit too high, and I did want to have them quite close to the ground for our visitors to look into the habitat. Yeah, what I'm doing now is I'm going to put down the path on top of it to give the whole thing a roof, and also to make possible that our visitors could walk in there. And I'm also going to leave a spot open on the lower level so our guests can walk in to the house, and to give this a little yeah, some doors as well. I don't know, to be completely honest, if I would build this whole thing exactly like this again, because it was very, very, very complicated, and I am absolutely sure there is an easier way to do this. And yeah, and I had so many little problems with the whole thing. So as you can see, I had some gaps in between the walls of the building, and yeah, and the roof, which is the path. So I had to make sure that we fill in these gaps, and yeah, it was a little mess. In the end, I found a way to work all of this stuff out, and that this weird kind of shape that it has right now is still there, but you don't notice it because I covered up as much as I could. Yeah, here I'm putting down some fake rocks on the backside of our path that is leading down the hill here, and I was thinking about closing the hole in the roof with putting down some also some weird shaped planter in the center of our viewing platform of our terrace here, and yeah, as I said, in the end it looks pretty nice, and I really love it. But when you see me creating this stuff, you might think, "Oh my God, has he lost his mind? That just doesn't make sense. That doesn't look clean. That is just some weird font shit that he's putting down here." And yeah, you are right. You are absolutely right. But as I said, in the end, it all comes together pretty nice, and it looks pretty cool. So just relax. Yeah. Okay, so here we have this weird kind of drop shaped thing in the middle, and yeah. The next thing was to cover up this thing. Yeah, we have once again the problem that we have this pieces on the side of the elevated path that stick through the whole thing. But it wouldn't be me if I didn't have a solution for that as well. Yeah, so I'm going to cover this up as I told you, and I'm putting down these yeah, these plaster pieces to create some kind of foundation for our viewing platform. Yeah. So the next thing is I'm going to put down some fences all around it. Yeah, I tried out some different things, and then I ended up with this fence that I created to put it all around it, so that everything is looking a little bit yeah, cohesive, and will match the style of the other parts of the zoo. Yeah, and I also put down these fences for the little, yeah, it's not even a bridge, but yeah, for this walkway to the terrace, I might say. And covering the rest of it a little bit up, and you can already see that it looks so much nicer now than it looked in the beginning, but we still have some problems here, because you might see the overlapping pieces of the roof that doesn't look that pretty, and yeah, doesn't look that pretty is when I say it in a nice way. It's ugly as hell. Yeah. So what I'm going to do now, or what I thought about doing, and yeah, I'm doing it now, is putting down these plaster pieces all around it, as you can see, and make this some kind of planter all around it. So yeah, I fixed the problem in a very unconventional way, I think. So if something doesn't look pretty, that might be something you can learn out of this. If something doesn't look pretty, just put some more stuff around it and on top of it, and until nobody can see it anymore. That always works. Yeah. Okay, so we have our planters outside, and we have the planter in the center of it, and yeah, it starts to come together in the end, I think. Or what do you guys think? Yeah, just some more fake rocks all around the habitat. Normally, I'm not the fan of putting too much of those rocks around it, because it always starts to look weird and boring, and but I haven't had the idea for this cheetah habitat. What else I could do? I tried some different stuff, but yeah, it all didn't make that much sense to me, and I didn't like it. So in the end, I ended up with putting down those fake rocks all around the whole habitat. Yeah, now putting down some of the rock work, putting down a little pond for our cheetahs, and starting as well to color the terrain a little bit, give it a little bit more green to make it look a little bit more fresh and not just dry and hot. And as the other habitats for our lions and for our jaguars were a little bit on the tiny side in the beginning, until I expanded them, I think the cheetah habitat is has quite a nice size. So what I'm doing here is I'm extending the building a little more for those glass pieces, for those glass walls, because I wanted to have some more viewing for our visitors from the outside, where they can look into the habitat and don't have to face any concrete pieces. So I just copied some parts of the walls of the building with the glass pieces around, so that we have this nice yeah, viewing parts here on the outside of the whole thing. Yeah, as you can see, we have this whole structure all around here on the lower level, so that you can see our cheetas when you are on the way down to the house. Yeah, putting down a lot of plants in here to make the whole thing look a little bit more nice and clean and a little bit lush, and give it an interesting look, not just for our visitors but also for the cheetahs. Yeah, to come back to the last 2 weeks where I wasn't able to build something in Planet Zoo or do any videos, I recently got into playing with my PlayStation 5. Yeah, I have one, which I'm very grateful for. Yeah, I got back into playing with my PlayStation, and I got into playing Horizon. First of all, I played Zero Dawn. Um, I had it for quite a while, but yeah, I lost interest in the game and didn't go on. So I replayed the whole thing and played through the whole thing. And then after I finished, I bought the new one, Horizon Forbidden West, which I'm playing right now. And I really do enjoy it. That's yeah, that's the other style of game that I really do love. Besides of building something in Planet Zoo, Planet Coaster, or those simulation games, I like these role play games. I think I might call it. One of my favorite is also Final Fantasy. I have almost every Final Fantasy. I think it is from part 6 on. I think 7 or 8 might have been the first one that I played on the PlayStation, and when I fell in love with the game, and from that yeah, from that moment on, I bought every game from the franchise, and I really do love those kind of games. So yeah, it is no secret that Horizon is also one of those games that I really love and really do enjoy to play, not only for the graphics but also for the storyline, which is really cool. Yeah, that's something I did in the meantime, and that I will go back to playing as well. Also thought about streaming it, but yeah, there are already so many people out there that stream Horizon, so I didn't feel the need to jump on the bandwagon as well and stick to my yeah, stick to my roots and play Planet Zoo. Yeah, I was thinking about what to do with this path to the lower level, and yeah, first of all, um, as usual, we had to close the gaps in here, and I also wanted our guests that go to here to have some kind of yeah, of shade. Um, And that is what I'm going to build here right now. Because I told you in the last episodes, or I told you, or I tell you in almost every episode, that it is absolutely necessary that when you have glass as a barrier, you have to put down some shades close to it, because when the sun goes through the glass, you as a visitor won't be able to see anything. And especially if you are what a great word, a photographer, and you want to make some photos of the animals, and it is already difficult to make photos through glass windows, but if you don't have any shade in there, it will be much more difficult. So yeah, that's the reason why I put down these shade structure. Yeah, which looks pretty cool as well. I also like the wooden pieces that I used here for this thing, and also the color of the wooden pieces, which match the whole area here really nice. And that is also something you can do when you build your zoos pretty easily. Yeah, by just using these wooden planks and make some support beams to them. And yeah, if you just do it like that, it makes the whole thing look so much more interesting, and gives the whole thing a different and a nicer touch, I might say. Yeah, and here we are finished with the whole thing, and you can see what I was talking about. The whole thing looks so much nicer, and I do love the view from the terrace, from the habitat, and I also do love the view from the lower part of it. It all comes together pretty nice, and yeah, for being the mess that it was in the beginning. And in some parts it still is, but we are getting there. Yeah, once again putting down some doors for our indoor section here. And once again I'm using these window pieces from the Europe DLC. And this time I'm not coloring them in black, and I closed the gap in the middle of it with putting down some plaster pieces as well. Yeah, and deleting some of our little problems, deleting the bushes and so on, and leaving our planter in the middle, in the center of the terrace like it is. Yeah, once more closing some more of the gaps that we have in here by making this elevated path here. Putting down some palm trees that are also planned to block the view from our main path on the upper side, because you should not be able to have a great look at the habitat from the upper part here. So you have to go downstairs or on the terrace to view the animals. That's the reason behind it. And I also wanted to put down some fences on the upper part here because I didn't want to have my visitors to walk close to yeah, to the habitat and maybe fall into it. So I had to put down some of the fencing and also some of the fences down here because I didn't want my visitors to go close to the glass windows. They can do it in the inside of the building, but I didn't want them to do that on the outside as well. Yeah, some more decoration, some of the fake rocks here, and some plants once again. And then we are almost finished on the lower part of the habitat, I might say, because we still have some work to do on the upper part. We have to close some more gaps so that we don't have to go into it in a later video or off cam. So I decided to yeah, to close those gaps right now, put down some more trees and some more bushes to make the whole thing look nice, and also put down some yeah, some plants in our planters on the terrace finally. I don't want them to be too high because our visitors should be able to have a look into the habitat. So yeah, I decided to put down some smaller plants. I also put down some benches and also some of these once again, I don't know the word, those yeah, those sun shades, I say, these huge umbrellas. Yeah, and as I said in the beginning, this is going to be the last habitat for our Big Cat Canyon. So the Big Cat Canyon might be finished here because I don't know what other big cat we could put down there. Right at the moment, there is no big cat left. We already have all of the cats that we have in the game in this zoo, without the snow leopard and the Siberian tiger, because we don't want to have them in this zoo because this environment would be too hot for the animals. Yeah, I was putting down the fence here, and in the end, I noticed that it doesn't make that much sense because I didn't know where I wanted to put down the entrance for the habitat. I started to put it down here on the backside and thought about the long path that our keepers had to walk to go into that habitat, and so I decided to delete a lot of our barriers here and made an entrance for our keepers on yeah, on the bottom of the habitat so that they could walk into the habitat from the house that we are having down there. Yeah, to go back to the end of the Big Cat or the Cats Canyon, we don't have any cats left right now that we can put in here. So Cat Canyon is finished, but we still have yeah, quite that gap to close between the Cats Canyon and the Small World. So I was thinking about what to do next, and I thought about to have yeah, something like an African section or something like yeah, like the safari section, that we are going to connect with these two things, like the Cats Canyon and the Small World. So we might build the entrance for our safari train ride part of the zoo between it, I think. That's something I'm going to try to build in the next episode, I think, if I don't have any other ideas. But if you have any other ideas what I could do next, just let me know in the comment section or join my Discord server and have a discussion with me. Yeah, you might find the link in the video description for that. Yeah, so that's the idea I have right now, and yeah, I'm pretty much open to any suggestions. I just showed you the yeah, the part that we have to fill in. Okay, so I guess it's time for our cheetahs to go into the habitat right now. And here they come. Yeah, so we are at the end of this episode already. I think I might leave you alone with our beautiful animals and you can watch them a little more right here. Let me know in the comments what you think about this habitat, because as I told you in the beginning, I had a very hard time to find any inspiration for it, and in the end I'm very happy how it all turned out. So let me know what you think about it. And yeah, at this point all I have to say is thank you for watching. I would love to see if you give me a like for the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel that you don't miss any future episodes, especially as we're going into a complete new area with the train ride now for the next few episodes, I think. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I would be happy to see you again in the next video. So bye guys, take care.
Is je term een pogrom?
Du ist von Mittel City Berhom, ist du? Oh.